happening right now in trying to be going across the world. But there are things that you can do to help alleviate these issues. All right, at Natural Health Solutions, of course, we have looked into this issue because this is a key factor of health issues. This is a key factor of what we call wellness, where we want to dive into that to help persons with those issues. All right, and today we'll go into that a little bit. But before we go into that, let's talk a little bit about the services that we offer here at Natural Health Solutions for those of you. And we will, of course, discuss our new opening hours. We have shortened up the period of time we are opening, and then, of course, our pickup and delivery service is available as well. We want to talk about this service that we offer, where we refer to as advanced biofeedback. What is biofeedback? What is this technique using frequency energy to detect issues in the body, to go deep and detect issues in the body and able to help the body using energy frequencies? Guys, this is what we call holistic anatomy, all right? And this is what they are being taught in many universities across the world right now, especially those that going into what we call the holistic anatomy of the body. Meaning we're not just looking at the physical aspect, but we are looking at the energy flows in the body. All right, there are energy flows in the body, just like how you have blood and lymph flowing through the body, two major fluids in the body, which is blood, all right, and lymph fluid. So we have the energy pathways, and with these energy pathways, we can detect issues affecting the body. All right, each organ, tissue, and cell of the body has a distinct frequency, which is made possible by the rotation of the atoms of the cell. All right, the cells rotate. When instructions now are sent to the body from the brain, they use what we call the spinal cord to send those instructions using the nerves and other molecular aids in order to do that. So as long as the connection between the brain and the spine is intact, the biofeedback systems can use the brain to listen and pick up the information, what we call the bioelectrical activity of the brain neurons. And this is amplified so the signals can be detected. And with those signals, with that information, we can tell exactly what's going on with the body. All right, for example, if your liver is not functioning properly, it will let off a different vibrational frequency, or what we call the biofield of the body. All right, and we can now pinpoint exactly when this problem started, what caused the problem, so we can go deeper as to not just the liver is having a problem or the kidney is having a problem, but we can now determine the early warning signs, and we can actually predict with high levels of accuracy 2 to 5 years early detection in terms of where this is going. In other words, if you maintain this lifestyle, and this lifestyle could be, excuse me, we're talking about your health lifestyle, we're talking about your emotional lifestyle, the environment around you, and all these components are put together, and we know if you maintain this lifestyle, this is going to be the result of your issue. You see, people, they don't just get up one morning and have diabetes. They don't just get up one morning and develop heart disease or cancer or anything for that example. These things we talk about is lifestyle disease. They develop over time by the way we behave, the way we eat, the way we think. These things affect the body. All right, this is what we call, when we look at the holistic anatomy, we're not just looking at the physical aspect. And this biofeedback is an area that is very, very significant. This is available at Natural Health Solutions, that we can help you in detecting the areas in your body, but more importantly, we can do early warning detection to prevent. So what we call early detection and prevention is key. There are most instruments, a lot of medical instruments, they look at the body and they can tell you, okay, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a sickness. But we don't need to wait until we get sick. What we need is something that is predictive, something that can see the direction where your body is going. All right, and we can say, listen, you have to change this pattern You have to change this thinking, change this way, or else this is what can happen. This is what will happen to you. And this has been proven in science. All right, this is very, very sound in science. And we believe that in the next 5 years or so, there are going to be a lot more coming out of what we call the general medical fraternity when we're looking at how the body gets sick, how the illness begin. Of course, all right, so, and of course, the biofeedback, of course, can analyze the entire body. So this is like an ultrasound. This is like an MRI, people. So if you want to take a deep dive in terms of what's going on with your body, we urge you to come and do a full body scanning using the biofeedback resonance. Very, very powerful tool. You're relaxed. You remove all your jewelry, all right? And we use these powerful sensors to pick up that energy. And at the end of it, you get a 7, sometimes to 10, 14-page report as to what's taking place in the body. Most people are very amazed in terms of how we can detect all these things using this technology. And of course, this technology, we can also detect the medications that you're taking, how effective they are, whether it is medication, whether it is supplements, whether it is nutrition. The body will tell you how effective these things are working, and that cuts you a lot of guesswork. We are able to charter a recovery protocol for the client in terms of what's going on with the body. All right, so it's very efficient for both doctors and clients. It provides a very deep analysis of the stress. It enables what we call preventative analysis and early recognition of similar diseases. It's completely non-invasive, meaning that it is not harmful to the body. There's no radiation, there's no nothing that will affect the body. It's fast and it operates, and it's very, very simple. Very, very effective indeed. And of course, what we're advising persons to do, especially for children, you want to know what's going on with them, well, then we're looking also at what we call our HemoView, which is our live blood profiling, all right? So our live blood profiling, using a powerful phase microscope, we can look and see what's going on in the blood. We call it live blood, meaning that it is interactive. This is different to when you go to a general blood test. Basically what happens, you look at, the medical doctor will take your blood and he will go and do a couple of using some stains, different type of stains and dyes and stuff like that, and they will do this stuff and they will come back to the report. This, however, is very, very interactive. The client is able to see using high definition screens. You're able to see living blood in motion. We're able to see a whole host of issues affecting the blood. And for those of you who are on Facebook right now, you can see the disorganization of the cells. Cells change and adapt to their environment of what we call declining pH. So this word pH you've been hearing, it simply means potential hydrogen. All right. If the hydrogen is in high levels and it's high alkaline, if it's lower, let's say under 7, you're looking at acidity. So most of the challenges that we have, everything going on with the body is reflected in the blood. So much so that I refer to our blood assessment as the bloody truth, because it looks at the entire body, and the blood don't lie. It reveals everything. So here, if you look on the left side, you see what they call clean, organized blood. The blood is buoyant, it is healthy, it is flowing nicely within the plasma. And then, of course, you're seeing a diabetic blood. So if somebody is diabetic or they're leaning to that area, this too can be detected in what we call our phase contrast blood assessment. All right. So in this now, we can see how the cells behaving. If you're looking at Facebook, if you're looking at us live, you can see the disorganization of the blood, and we can tell if a person is diabetic, or at least you're leaning in that area. We can say you got to cut this out, you got to prevent this, because this is what's going to happen to you. Of course, on the other side, we have chronic disease, and you know, many of us use a lot of stuff in the grocery store. And last week I talked about for the country, you know, for the authorities to launch a national health drive, you know, to educate the public on some of the basic things to eat in order to have a healthy immune system. People, you can't want a healthy immune system. You want to protect yourself from all this virus and all this thing happening right now in the world, and still go ahead and eat a particular way. It doesn't work that way. All right. And so what we are saying is that to pick up that phone and call Natural Health Solutions. All right. The numbers to call are 304-5816. That number is 304-5816. Bring your children as well. You want to know what's going on with them. You need to be able to do that. All right, pick up that phone and call on our number in Tobago, and that number is 732-9187. 732-9187. Now, we're going to dive into the whole issue of stress. We're going to look at how stress affects the body. We're going to look at how things like unforgiveness affects the body. So today we're taking a little different turn with the few minutes we have remaining to share with you why it is so important to relax, why it is so important to do deep breathing exercises, physical exercises, meditation, and of course prayer is a big part of that, people. Prayer is a big part of that. We're living in a very stressful period. People are watching television and, right these days we are being bombarded with all the dangers of what's going on right now. But you got to put it into perspective, people, all right, because this will do a tremendous, how should I say, it's going to do damage to your body. All right, so this next slide shows what we're talking about, how emotions and stress factors can affect your physical, what we call your physical and your metabolic nervous system. So it's going to affect the physical, your metabolic, and your nervous system. Now, let's look, how stress can harm your body. First of all, for those of you who are always angry, and I spoke about this in a bit of area before, when you're angry, it fires up the heart. There's a heat that builds up that goes in the liver and the heart. As a matter of fact, some of you, when you're very angry, you can't breathe properly. All right, you can't breathe properly. You're that anger, that rage. All right, we are saying this is a period in your life, people, where you got to release those emotions. You're gonna ask God to remove these emotions from you, because it's gonna tear down your body. It's gonna affect your health in such a myriad of ways that I don't have the time to discuss the amount of ways that these kind of emotions could affect the body. If you're shocked about something happens, it can weaken the heart. It will affect the kidneys. All right? So shock will affect the kidneys. And many of you are going through that right now. Worry. You're worrying all the time. What worry does? Worries weakens the stomach. By you worrying, it weakens your stomach. It affects your whole digestive system. All right? Let's look at fear. I've been talking about fear because a lot of persons one young lady told me she was so frightened in terms of what's going on. She kept her children inside. They don't come outside to play. They're literally inside the house 24/7. That is not healthy, people, for children. It is not healthy. Children need to come out and play, within their environment of So if you have a home, you have a yard or whatever, and because of her fear, what's going on, it will affect her adrenaline, and it will affect the adrenals and the kidneys as well. The adrenals are literally a little pyramid-shaped gland, just sits on top of the kidney. So fear will affect the adrenals, which in turn will affect the kidney, and guess what? You tend to get a lot of high blood pressure. So your blood pressure is very high. Why is high? Because a lot of fear is taking place in your body. Let's look at anxiety. Anxiety goes deeper. Anxiety affects digestion. You can't have proper bowel movements. You can't sleep properly, all right, because of this amount of anxiety that you're having. And listen, there are many of you having this anxiety right now. Guess why? Because you're sleeping, all right, and the anxiety literally wake you up. You wake up with this thing going on. You wake up with the heart palpitations, all right? You're waking up in the night with this, and we've seen at Natural Health Solutions, we understand this whole aspect of emotional and stress factors that could affect your health. If these are things that are challenging you, pick up the phone and give us a call. And those numbers again are 304-5816. And our number in Tobago is 732-9187. All right? Again, stress will weaken the heart and the brain. All right? You know what that can do. Have you an emotional wreck. Sadness, for example, sadness weakens the lungs. If you're sad, it literally weakens your lungs, people. Now, how do we handle these things? We have to manage these things because this is a natural part of human emotion. But oftentimes we worry about things that has no direct effect on us. All right? And as I tell my clients, half the time when you complain about your stress and your worries and all your heartache, the people you complain to, they glad it's not them. And the other half glad that is you having the problem. All right? So it doesn't matter complaining. Just pick yourself up, and communicate with the master, exercise, have changed that whole mental perspective, because this is going to drown your body. This is going to cause you to have serious health conditions. We have seen people who are having internal bleeding. We have seen people who have their body reacting in a myriad of ways, and they believe that they're sick, but they are not. When we look at them and we do a biofeedback, a bioanalysis on them, we realize that the organs are basically okay. There's no sickness in the body from the physical sense, but they are sick because they are sick emotionally, mentally, and oftentimes spiritually. So there needs to be a balance between these three. Let's look at another area that is hardly ever mentioned when we're talking about wellness on the radio station, and this is what we call unforgiveness. The question is, can unforgiveness affect your physical well-being? And the answer is yes. When we're talking about holistic wellness, people, this is the areas that we need to talk about as well. All right? So a refusal to forgive introduces stress into the body as well. Unforgiveness relates to the decreased activity in what you call the prefrontal cortex, and it increases activity in the limbic system. All right? So unforgiveness also relates to the increased levels of stress hormones such as cortisol. All right? Unforgiveness also relates to increased blood pressure, heart rate, and tension. Tension in facial muscles, those also increase. Unforgiveness is stressful. So what we're saying is that oftentimes people wonder, just as it indicates in the Bible, you've got to forgive sometimes the perpetrator. Now, forgiving the perpetrator don't mean that the perpetrator, if it's somebody we're talking about, does not get punished, or they are not held accountable for the things that they are perpetrated against you. Doesn't mean that. It simply means if you pick up the phone and you forgive that person, it means that it releases you. That hold, that tension, that negative energy, it is released. It dissipates. You release it. You open up your consciousness and you release that negative energy that has been harboring and causing to hold you back in a number of things that you're doing. Hold back your progression, hold back your growth, hold back your life span and expectancy. And so you have to forgive perpetrator, and oftentimes we also have to forgive ourselves, because oftentimes we don't forgive ourselves for the things that we may have done. This is what we're talking about. Holistic healing encompasses all these things. So the emotional environmental stress that can trigger multiple endocrine disruptors. So we're talking about the endocrine system. This is where it affects the body, because the endocrine deals with that. All right, starting from the hypothalamus gland, and then it moves lower down in the body with all the other endocrine systems. All right, so short-term things that you will experience with stress is feeling worried, nervous, unable to switch off, unable to sleep, your heart beating harder, faster, pumping more blood, going through the major muscles. Your breathing actually quickens. All right, it sends more oxygen to the body. You get a rush of hormonal imbalance. The skin becomes more sensitive and oily. Muscles, you start to have problems between the sheets, what we call problems between the sheets. Muscle tense up as they are reappearing, and they make, it's like a fight or flight. You're always in that way of flight. All right, so this is the imbalance it causes. In long term, of course, things like headaches and migraines, mental health issues, serious heart problems, Some of the other problems, again, you will find is problems in breathing, hyperventilation, and panic attacks. I know most of you can identify with that who are listening this morning. If you're listening, the topic this morning is a little different to what I normally talk about, but these are issues, and I'm talking about it now because it is very relevant in these times, because there's so much of over sensation, I would say, over sensation of this whole pandemic thing is really, I think the effects of the pandemic sometimes could be worse than the disease itself, in terms of the damage it can have on family life and mental health. Is a serious problem. It is not being talked about enough, but I'm telling you, it is serious. So skin and hair conditions where the hair, skin sort of get dry, hair falling off, hair loss, increased risk of type 2 diabetes, of course. People tend to overeat or eat the wrong things, and fertility problems as well in both men and women. All this due to stress on the body. So I'm saying, people, you need to, some of you need to stop watching the news. You need to avoid the television and the news and allow your body to heal. All right? And a lot of fear that you're having right now, and I'm not going to talk about the other part. I'm not going to mention that on air, but many of you are fearing for no reason. Listen, you have the precautions in terms of taking care of yourself. You know, you wear a mask, you wash your hands. I prefer you use things like silver to sanitize your hands, as opposed to using too much of the, what we call hand sanitizers, because you use that, especially children, and they go and eat, and there are chemicals in hand sanitizers, which is not healthy for your body. You can do your own research on that. Don't just take my word for it, okay? So we have silver solution that can protect your hands, sanitize your hand, and it will give you, protect you for about 8 hours. Hand sanitizers only effective when they're wet. So the minute they're dry, there's no more protection. And breathing exercises is critical, people. All right, you got to breathe. Many of you are suffering from hypoxia and you don't even know. How are you going to know that? That's why you're feeling very tired and you're feeling sleepy. All right? So if you're by yourself in your vehicle, you have the AC on and then you have on your mask, you're not doing yourself justice to that. You know, yes, obey the laws and thing and going in businesses, put on your mask and so on. But when you're in your private space, you got to breathe. You got to breathe when you're in your private space, because it's going to cause harm to your body, because we are seeing that. All right? Allow your children to go outside and play. Just eat clean and keep your immune system good, people. I'm telling you, you have nothing to worry about. The people who are succumbing to these things are people who have preconditions, are sick people, literally. If you look at the data, I don't have the data with me this morning, and I don't have the time to share it, but listen, just look at the data. Look and see what's going on. All right? And so, Natural Health Solutions, we are here every Wednesday morning for 91.9 at 9:05 to 9:35. Listen, we are in Tobago, number 40 Wilson Road in Tobago, opposite the Penny Savers Supermarket, number 40 Wilson Road. That number to call in Tobago is 732-9187, 732-9187. All services available. Of course, our number here in Trinidad is 304-5816. You want to pick up that phone and call. 304-5816. Our landline is 222-2189. Like us on Facebook. Now remember, we offer pickup and delivery. So if you want to deal with issues and you want to get stuff, you can call. We will get the stuff ready for you, and you simply come and pick it up. No need to come in the clinic. All right. And also we have the delivery. We have also direct delivery. So you can call and we'll get this stuff to you. All right. We take links, as well as, for those of you, some of these senior people who can't make it, we do a COD, which is cash on delivery. All right. Our opening hours have changed. Our opening hours now would be from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. In Trinidad, we are opening from next week. From next month, we are opening Monday to Wednesday. We'll be off on Thursday and Friday. We'll be off. We'll be not operating on Thursday and Friday as of from the new month. All right. We'll be here on Saturdays, and our opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. In Tobago, we will not be open on Mondays and Tuesdays. All right. Mondays and Tuesdays, we will not be open in Tobago, and we will commence on from Wednesday to Saturday in Tobago as well. Opening hours from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Those are the changes that we have that we can accommodate persons. Our environment is very sanitized, and of course we limit the persons that can be at one physical location in just obeying the COVID protocols, the pandemic protocols that was instituted by the authorities. All right, so definitely we can help you, teach you how to take care of yourself, people, and how to balance the body. All right, so there are things you can do. It includes prayer. We are asking people to prayer and affirmations, and we can tell you how the affirmations work. Is very powerful. Is you speaking out your mouth, and your brain will literally believe what is coming out your mouth. You can literally program your mind. You could program your mind, people, because you are being programmed right now by the television and the radio. You are being programmed right now. So rather than allow yourself to program, you program your own self with the information you need to keep your body healthy, so it could help you and your loved ones, especially those of you with children. You can't afford to break down now. All right? All is not lost. All right? You cannot be harboring a spirit of fear and worshiping a living and powerful God. You know, you can't be praying to Yeshua, all right, on a daily basis, believing that he is the all-powerful, and then, of course, you are having all this stress, all this fear. Fear is not a spirit of God, people. And, you need three spirits. You need a spirit of love, and, of course, spirit of power, and a sound mind in order to overcome fear. That's how powerful fear is. You need three spirits to overcome the spirit of fear. So I'm saying to you this morning, people, do not allow yourself to succumb by fear. Do your due diligence. Dive into these things. Exercise, deep breathing, and pull yourself out of this stressful and this matrix, and watch your health improve. Put yourself in perspective, okay? That's all I can tell you right now. So we're about to, as we close off this morning, I'm telling you, we love you at Natural Health Solutions. We tell you to stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy in your mind, and know that you have a powerful living God that is bigger than your present situation. All right? As much as the skies maybe look great for you, you have to behave as though the skies is blue. So with the behavior is going to confuse the enemy. All right, people? That is as much as I can tell you this morning. But certainly call us at Natural Solutions. Pick up that phone and call 304-5816 or 732-9187. Again, 304-5816 or 732-9187. Okay, that's all for you today. We love you. Bye-bye. See you next week, same time. Godspeed.
Right, Trinidad and Tobago, so you just heard from Mr.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday at 9:05 to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street, 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816 at Natural Health Solutions.